Many sports fans may not be familiar with the name of Michael Schumacher, but around the world, he is a sporting icon, one of the biggest names to ever come out of Formula One. He's in critical condition in a hospital today after suffering head injuries while skiing. For more on this, we bring in Ed Hinton, who covers motorsports for ESPN.com. Ed, as we mentioned at the top, maybe in this country, because F1 is not one of the mainstream sports, he's not well known. He's also retired. But just sort of give us an idea of what kind of reputation, image that Schumacher has in the sporting world.
Right. Well, he is a titan in the world of Grand Prix racing, Formula One. He won 7 world championships, which remains the most that anyone has won. He was in his prime as a driver, just a magnificent and breathtaking driver. He did so well that in his prime, his annual income was estimated at $75 million a year. That tells you what an icon he has been over the years worldwide. Arguably, he's on a class, say, that Pelé was in soccer years ago. He is just sort of everywhere but here. He's one of the biggest known figures in all of sports.
Any comparison to Pele, I think, would make it pretty readily known to anybody just how large of a guy this was in his scale and magnitude in the sport. Now, this wasn't just your run-of-the-mill skiing accident. You have some additional details on exactly what happened to him today and the type of skiing he was undergoing that may have contributed to this.
Yeah, the news reports out of the French Alps say the consensus is he was doing a type skiing called off-piste, which means off-course. He wasn't on. Off-piste means you're not on a marked or patrolled ski slope the way the average person would go skiing. It's not completely out of the ordinary. It's not completely wild. People do it, but it is somewhat more risky and somewhat more unknown in that the snowpack on the slope is not measured. What's under the snow, it's just not as carefully monitored as a marked and patrolled ski slope. It's a little more risky just because of the unknowns than just normal downhill ski.
Very good. Before I let you go, obviously, he made his mark while racing. He's been in retirement. What's he been doing since he's finished racing?
Well, he tried to come back and raced, I believe, until 2012. He didn't do very well after he came back, but he's just sort of an adventurous person. I mean, he's got a house in Monaco. He does skiing. He's got a lot of money, and he enjoys it. He loves, to this day, mountain biking, water skiing, just all sorts of things. He has his business interests, but Michael is just a very fun-loving guy who enjoys what he has. He has various public interest things that he does. He's extremely popular in his native Germany. And he fills his time all the time. I don't know exactly what kind of private plane he has now, but when I knew him when he was at his peak at Formula One, he had his own private Boeing 737. So he literally can go anywhere in the world he wants to go on his own plane. But he's just basically been traveling around enjoying. I think that not racing, there's sort of a void in his life because he came up from when he was a child racing go-karts, and I think he probably misses that. But, you know, the enjoyment, the skill of downhill skiing and the other sports that he does, very fit person. He spends a lot of time just an incredibly fit, physical person.
Very good. Ed Hinton, thanks very much for the latest on a man that he called a titan. Once again, Michael Schumacher in a hospital in critical condition after a skiing accident today. Ed, we appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, Zubin.
You're welcome. And for all of your latest motorsports headlines, including the latest here on Schumacher, keep it on ESPN.com.